All right, so what we're going to do here is a totally live demo of how I would go about doing Rolling Stones style guitars for a track. Keith refers to this as the art of guitar weaving. And what it really is, you know, Ron tends to play kind of a straight up guitar, standard tuning, you know, bar chords and leady stuff. And Keith plays in basically G tuning. What you really get when you do that is sort of one big guitar with sort of the suspended chords Keith's doing. And, you know, Keith plays like Keith. He's all over the place, and Ronnie kind of holds it down maybe a little more. But they both are fairly active, and it's a really unique kind of thing they got going. And the important thing here also is they play live. A lot of their guitars are recorded live, and you can really tell. And they do it totally different when they play shows. So, you know, I would always stress, if you've ever seen any of my videos, I do stuff live and I don't fix stuff. I'm a bit old school that way. I know that's not the norm these days, but if you want to sound like the Stones, you got to leave it pretty ragged because they're trying to make it ragged, you know? Like, it's not about being perfect. It's not about being right on the beat. It's not being a human metronome. It's feeling the music. And, if you screw up, you screw up. If you listen to a lot of Stones records, or especially live, there's a lot of sort of screw ups on their stuff, and they leave it, or stuff's out of tune. They don't care, man. They're going for feel, and that's kind of the idea here. So the basic gist is going to be you're going to have a Ron Wood guitar on the left, say, and a Keith Richards style guitar on the right. And again, the Ron Wood's going to be a little more straightforward. It's going to be a regular tune guitar, and the Keith guitar is going to be on the right, and that's going to be a G tune guitar. And before I do them, I'll explain a little bit more sort of how I'm going about it. So I'm not going to play an actual Stone song because, frankly, you can find 4,000 of those on YouTube already. I'm just going to play like a basic kind of Stonesy groove and see what comes out. So let's get into it. I'll do... I've already recorded a drum loop and some sloppy bass, and I'll do the Ron guitar first and sort of do a quick explanation on that. So, and if you want any more detail on this, you know, like and subscribe. I'll do longer lessons on what the mentality is anyways. I'm not going to get into literal, since I'm winging it, I'm not going to get into literal, like, this is what I played stuff, but I can give you the concepts involved. So like and subscribe, and let me know if any questions in the comments. So we're going to record the Ron Wood style guitars, and I already got bass and drums going. So we're going to make some stuff over it and see if we can get a Stones groove kind of going. All right, now we're going to get into the Keith part of the endeavor. And I can go way more in depth with this stuff. I'm trying to keep this particular video to a reasonable length, so I'm not going to go bananas. There's a lot of other videos about how Keith does stuff, so you can refer to those, or if there's a request, since I've gotten pretty deep into Keith over the years and actually recorded some Stones stuff, you know, feel free to ask, and maybe I'll go deeper into this. But basically, you tune your guitar to G. So the D string, the G string, and the B string stay the same. The high E goes down to D, and the A string goes down to G, and you get this. Which means you can bar chord. Play with one finger, 2 fingers. I believe in an interview Keith referred to it as 5 strings, 3 notes, 2 fingers, 1 idiot, which is Keith and is hilarious. But yeah, it's really quite, you know, I don't want to say it's easy to play like that, but yeah, it's a bit easier. And in true Keith style, if we're doing it right here, we're going to just completely get rid of the E string. So let's do that. It's really just in the way, and you don't need it. So, you know, if you leave it on, the problem is it sort of gets in the way when you're whacking the chords. So you're better off just doing that. Now you got this. And the other magic ingredient, since this song is in the key of A, is you would magically capo your G-tune guitar at the 2nd fret. Now you're in A. Look, no hands. So you can see how useful this is. It's quite easy to do. It's super hard to get the feel right though. So we'll play some here and see what comes out. And again, if anybody wants a deeper dive into this Keith stuff, I'm happy to do it. Just leave a comment. I'll do a full-on Keith lesson. But here comes. And again, this is live. If I screw up, I screw up. Do some Keith.